Yes, I am back, and in this video, I'm going to explain that statement. But I'm also going to be talking about some airdrop information specifically announced by Binance, as well as some other airdrop information about Solo. And yet another video of the head of SEC, Gary Gensler, has shown up. I'm going to tell you what he said that may or may not shock some of you, where if he was the head of the SEC in 2013 to 2018, well, let's just say crypto might look a lot different. And to come as a shock or not a shock to many of you, another Bitcoin spot ETF was denied by Gary Gensler's SEC. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about it. Plus, if you're an XRP holder, you've been paying attention to what Ripple's doing. The Ripple Liquidity Hub, which I actually talked about in one of my previous videos, I will link that up here. You can go watch it after this video. They have now trademarked it. As of November 9th, 2021, the Ripple Liquidity Hub is now trademarked. And to clarify that statement I made at the beginning of this video, yes, this YouTube channel was taken down and then put back up, and I'm going to give you all the details. Hey everyone, my name is Randy, and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, I'm covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell notification icon. That way YouTube will send you a notification. And if you're feeling generous today, I greatly appreciate it. If you do two things, smash that thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. Those are the two best things that you can do to support a YouTube channel. So with that, let's jump into it. Okay, so first I want to talk about what happened to this YouTube channel and give you guys all the details. And if you've been following cryptocurrencies on Twitter and on YouTube, you've probably seen several other YouTube channels that were taken down within the crypto space. And a lot of people say that, well, YouTube is actually targeting cryptocurrency channels. They don't necessarily like it. And I don't believe that's true. I think there's a lot of channels that fall victim to the same thing that mine did, and so I'm not going to address it because I don't think YouTube is anti-crypto or anything like that. I think this was just honestly a mistake that they unfortunately made and was then corrected. So here we go. So very late Thursday night, in fact it was about midnight, I came out to my office to begin working on another video. Well, I then saw an email that said, "We have taken down your YouTube channel," and of course that caught my attention. And as soon as I read the first 2 or 3 sentences, I realized that it was legit. And I quickly opened a browser, went onto YouTube, couldn't access anything. Opened YouTube Studio, couldn't access anything. In fact, it just kept saying, your account cannot sign in. And so at that point, I basically started to panic. I went back to the email where it gives a link where you can actually file an appeal. So I did, and I did it rather quickly, but I still did it in a well thought out manner. And I remembered watching some other previous videos of people that had this happen, where they basically said, listen, don't yell and scream at YouTube, do everything very, very respectfully, and you're gonna have a much better chance of getting your channel back, essentially. So I did that, was very respectful, and went through point by point what happened and why I believe it should be reversed. So it's good they have an appeal process, and I did that. Basically, it just said, now you're gonna have to wait. And I saw another video that said you should actually go onto YouTube has live creator help, and you can actually live chat with someone or email someone. So I went on and started doing that, and after we kind of went over the situation, they basically just said, yep, I see you've sent in an appeal. I can't really do anything here on my end. You're just going to have to wait for the manual review. And at that point is when I went onto Twitter and started rallying and basically crying out for help to anybody that would listen. And that's where a lot of you guys really came in and helped. I then put together a tweet. I tweeted at Team YouTube, and I noticed a lot of the Twitter followers that I have, as well as some others in the cryptocurrency or YouTube community, actually retweeted it and started their own tweets as well, focused at Team YouTube. I then got a response from at Team YouTube's Twitter handle basically saying, listen, we saw that you have an issue with your channel being taken down. We saw that you sent in an appeal. Best thing you can do now is just, again, wait for the review process to actually take place. So I'm glad that I got a response, but again, nothing was really going to happen. And I tried to solicit some advice from some other crypto YouTubers that had happened to. I know Anthony Pompliano had his taken down for a day or two. I know BitBoy Crypto had his taken down temporarily. And so I know they've been through the same issues, so I tried reaching out to them, but to no avail. But nonetheless, I know they're incredibly big influencers and probably never even saw my tweet. So at that point, it basically was just a waiting game and started to think about what I was going to do next if my channel was actually permanently taken down. Fortunately, that didn't last too long because somewhere in the neighborhood of about 4 to 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I was still sitting at my desk, hashing over some things, trying not to stress out too much. I got an email from YouTube that said, after careful review, we have decided to reinstate your YouTube channel. And let me tell you, that's probably the best email that I have ever read. So nonetheless, I went and clicked refresh. Voila, my channel was back up. However, it did have something else along with it. It basically popped up with a warning that said, your latest video goes against some of our policies and our guidelines. So what we're doing is we're taking down that video and basically giving you a warning. If you do this again, you'll be getting 1 community strike, and if you get 1 community strike, you can't upload for 7 days. So nonetheless, I was happy to get my channel back, but I was still a little bit concerned about this. But I did see that you can actually appeal that as well. So the following day, actually earlier this morning, I was actually gone all day yesterday. So when I went to appeal it, it basically has a little description of why they think your video was in the wrong and why it was taken down. And their description said that my video contained content that was harmful, dangerous, and elicited illegal activities. Now, I didn't know if talking about airdrops was considered an illegal activity or anything of the such, because I do make mention in my videos that this is not financial advice and don't buy and sell anything based on anything that you see on my videos. But then I also thought, well, hang on, this was the first video in which I actually put an affiliate link into somewhere, which is an affiliate link to somewhere, to an exchange where you can actually go and get cryptocurrencies. And I noticed that a lot of other influencers do the same thing and they don't really get in trouble for it. Well, I thought maybe it's the affiliate link. So I actually asked in the appeal if any of these were the issue, along with explaining why I don't think this video has anything to do with any illegal or illicit activities. It's basically just news and reports on news and information. Well, it didn't take long. Actually, about 30 minutes later, I got an email from YouTube once again telling me that, thank you for the appeal. After manual review, we have decided to relist this video, and if you had any warnings or strikes prior, they will be erased from your channel. That was probably the second best email that I got from YouTube. But needless to say, we are back up and running. As you are now watching this video, you can clearly see, and I really hope I don't have to go through it again. And if you do upload videos to YouTube and go through something like this, just remember, be respectful, be very clear, be thoughtful, and they'll work with you. And through this process, I also wanted to mention a couple of things. Number one, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I would ask that you would consider going over to Twitter if you have a Twitter account and follow me there. I'll put the link in the description below. That way, if anything happens like this again, I can clearly communicate to the community what's actually going on. Now, there was enough people on Twitter that actually saw this and listened to me and communicate with me, and I really, really appreciate all of the retweets, all of the very kind comments that people have made about this channel that honestly I really didn't expect, through Twitter and through some DMs, as well as some tweets that I saw that were directed at YouTube talking about my channel that I really, really appreciated. So if you're on Twitter and you helped me out there, a big, big thank you. I really think that actually doing that on Twitter helped escalate at least my case onto YouTube. So a big, huge thank you to the Late Night Grind community. All right, now let's get to some crypto information. First, I want to talk about a video that just surfaced of the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler. It was actually tweeted out by John Deaton, who, by the way, his lawsuit going against the SEC now has 60,000 members of his class. 60,000 members has signed up for his class action lawsuit against the SEC. In fact, he tweeted out, there's a lot of comments of people that aren't even XRP holders, but they're so up in arms about what the SEC is doing with their overreach that they decided to join in and support the cause. Including one person who he alluded to basically being a Bitcoin maxi, would never buy any other coin, think they're all junk, but nonetheless, they're not a fan of what the SEC is doing. That John Deaton. So he tweeted out this video, and in it, Gary Gensler was saying some things that make you want to scratch your head if you're in the crypto community, because he was talking about decentralization. Now, specifically, he was talking about Ethereum being decentralized, and he was talking about different mining pools in Russia and China. And when he was talking about decentralization, that's really all he was talking about was the miners, not necessarily how the technology actually works to be decentralized, just who's mining the most of it. And John Deaton actually pointed out, because of this video, that if Gary Gensler was the head of the SEC between 2013 and 2018, which was some of that time where Jay Clayton's tenure, Gary Gensler would have to actually make Bitcoin a security. Even though that wouldn't make any sense at all, but according to his definition of centralization or decentralization, Bitcoin would have been a security. It just doesn't make sense, and that should scare a lot of people what he's actually trying to do by getting his hands around the crypto community. And speaking of Gary Gensler and the head of the SEC, just yesterday they announced that they are denying the Van Eck Spot Bitcoin ETF. What is a spot Bitcoin ETF? Well, it's an ETF that actually holds Bitcoin. It's not basically a gamble against its future price, like what a futures-based ETF is. But nonetheless, it was denied. It really doesn't shock me. I didn't expect it to. There's actually a handful of other applications that still haven't been discussed or gone over yet, or any decisions being made, including the big one from Grayscale, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which of course has the application to become a spot ETF. I just don't see any of these spot ETFs being approved, at least not this year. Possibly the beginning of next year, but we'll say that's just my opinion. All right, well, now let's talk about some airdrop information. That's a lot of the reason that you clicked on this video. So here we go. Binance. It's actually not brand new news, but Binance announced that they are going to be supporting the Songbird airdrop for XRP holders. That is great news for international XRP holders. Now for the US XRP holders, well, Binance doesn't support XRP in Binance US. So are they actually going to be supporting the Songbird airdrop for US citizens? I actually couldn't find any information on that. I'll continue to look at Binance.us or any announcements that might be made about it, but as of right now, it's strictly for international holders of XRP. That's great news though. It's a step in the right direction. But what is noticeably absent is any word from Coinbase, because there are a lot of XRP holders that have their XRP on Coinbase. But wait, I thought Coinbase didn't list XRP. Well, you're right, but they used to. And you can actually exchange in and out of XRP on Coinbase. You just can't buy it on Coinbase. So no word as of yet, literally anything. They've been completely silent on this whole Songbird airdrop, really any airdrops for XRP. My guess is they're trying to wait until this whole battle with the SEC is actually cleared up until they actually do anything, including relisting XRP. So I don't know if I would hold your breath if you have your XRP on Coinbase and that's where you got your snapshot. But we'll have to see. And speaking of another airdrop, I mentioned in my previous video, the one that got my whole channel shut down, the Solo airdrop. The snapshot's actually happening December 24th. The actual airdrop's happening January 22nd. I wanted to clear up some information about it that I made, some numbers that I talked about in my previous video. Now, I previously said some numbers that said if you hold this amount of XRP or this amount of Solo tokens, you'll get X amount of airdropped tokens on your account. Well, that was actually just an example that Solo gave on their website. The actual amount of Solo that you'll receive if you already have Solo or if you're holding XRP, it's going to be determined by what the snapshot actually shows on December 24th. So regardless of what I said, that example is actually on their website, and you can go to the website and see all of that information as well. So I just wanted to clear that up. And speaking of Solo, of course, it is making some big price moves. I mentioned in my other video how much the price was moving. Well, it continues to move even higher. In the last 15 days, it has gone from 6 cents. I believe I saw 6.1 cents was the lowest about 15 days ago. Is now trading for $2.63. That is about a 43x in the last 15 days. That is absolutely insane. But I don't know how many people were actually buying it when it was at 5 cents. But nonetheless, that information, I'm going to continue to follow along with these other airdrops. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And like I said, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. That way we can have a whole nother communication method. And to all the late night grind community that have supported me through this on Twitter and a few of the comments that I've already seen on the video that got relisted, a big thank you. A big thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.